Well, we couldn't end the show without talking about your Kansas City Chiefs in the Sunday night game. Sunday night football was not a letdown. My upset alert of the week was the Falcons beating the Chiefs. I almost had it. I was so close, yet so far away. Because even though the score was close, when I'm just breezing over these team stats in the box score, the Chiefs controlled the football game most of the time, it seems. And then also exactly what I said last week I thought would happen, did happen. Pacheco comes out, Mahomes throws the ball for 39 times. And he did pretty good throwing those balls. There's a guy on the team named Rashee Rice. If you hadn't heard about him, you may need to look him up because he's a pretty talented wide receiver.
Not a great driver, but...
Well, let's not talk about that. He doesn't need to drive a car on the football field, right? He just needs to drive his legs, and that's all. So, that aside, though, my biggest question to you, and we can talk about the Falcons, but I do want to touch on the Chiefs because you are a Chiefs fan. And I think it's only fair. It's all our show, and we'll talk about the Bills later.
Winners first. Yep.
Tonight, we'll talk about the Chiefs. Are you less concerned now, seeing that Pacheco's gone and the Chiefs still pulled out a victory against a really good Falcons team? Are you still concerned about the overall running game of the Chiefs? Do you think that Patrick Mahomes can take them the way and put the game on his shoulders like we saw him do early in his career and not have to rely on the run game as much?
I definitely think Patrick Mahomes can put the team on his shoulders. He's shown that. Obviously, they were able to run the ball really effectively tonight. Way more effectively than I thought they could.
Yeah, but it still wasn't Pacheco level. Like, let's agree with that, right?
It was not Pacheco. But Carson Steele, 17 carries for 72 yards. I mean, like, he is not as fast as Pacheco, but he is a bruiser. He can run people over. With that said, if you look at team stats, the Falcons are one of the worst rush defenses in the league, like bottom 7, bottom 8. So I don't want to take too much away from the Chiefs running the ball here. And even with that said, Mahomes did throw the ball 39 times. I thought most of the game Mahomes looked a little off. I was texting you. He was missing the first quarter, 2 quarters. He threw a bunch of passes behind. Like, he missed throws he doesn't usually make. He just didn't look like his normal self. He started to get in the groove and get better. I kind of feel like I have felt about the Chiefs. Rashee Rice is a stud. Patrick Mahomes is going to carry you. The identity of the Chiefs to me still is the defense. Their defense is spectacular. This is a Spags team, and Patrick Mahomes manages the game and does what he has to do. But we saw a different Chiefs win tonight, Ryan. Usually, when Mahomes got the ball back at the end of the game, you're like, okay, here we go. He's going to drive downfield and score as time expires in the game. They went 3 and out. 3 and out. And when that happened, I got a little worried. And the Falcons, thanks to penalties and the Chiefs being sloppy, the Falcons got back down into the red zone, and the defense is what won the game. Won the game on a defensive stop where Nick Bolton read it perfectly, got in the backfield, and tackled Bijan Robinson. What makes the Chiefs so scary is not just Mahomes, it is the team. They are playing like the Patriots dynasty. They are a complete football team. When one area falters, the other lifts them up. Mahomes and the offense wasn't spectacular tonight. They were all right, but the defense elevated them. They made the plays when they needed to, and they held the Falcons to 17 points. Regardless of what happened in this game, you just know the Chiefs are going to be contenders because they're well coached. Their special teams are fantastic. The game almost went awry very quickly when on a punt, the ball almost went over the punter's head, and Matt Ariza, the guy that the Bills cut because of a BS scandal, jumped up, got it, and was able to get the punt off. The Chiefs are a complete football team. It's not flashy. It's not pretty. They've obviously trying to deal with the loss of Pacheco, but they are a problem, and they're just well coached, and they're just talented everywhere.
When somebody has to step up on the Chiefs, that person does it. Tonight, Nick Bolton was the star to me.
Yep.
He stopped that final, and we can go back and look, and the 4th down, the going for it to try to win the game. I personally believe that you had to go for it at that point.
I agree. There was only like 5 minutes left.
There's 5 minutes left against Patrick Mahomes. You try to take as many points as you can.
Right. We trying to win, or we trying to, not lose? I like
in hindsight, you could have taken the field goal there and came back and took an easy field goal, and probably your chances of winning increased dramatically if you would have done it that way.
But Kansas City had been driving all night. I mean,
That's
they
right.
had been going
the 3 and out.
downfield.
I think the 3 and out surprised the Falcons. I can't believe that that we held Mahomes to a 3 and out. And
that was only because Xavier Worthy quit running. Like, Xavier Worthy was open, and he just stopped his route. So
that I texted you. I was like, what happened there?
Yeah, it was
that
weird.
was very weird. But I will say that the Chiefs, as good as they are, they don't need to get comfortable. And I think that's one of the things they do great every week is they do not get comfortable. Like, they may fight. The Chiefs don't have runaway games often.
They never do.
Like you said, they don't cover the spread well. But I think that, especially with Pacheco gone, they need to figure out how to utilize Carson Seal and P. Ryan a lot more in teams that are going to be tougher at covering the run than the Falcons are.
I agree. And I think it's funny because you think, oh, Travis Kelce dependent. This team's really dependent on Rashee Rice, man, especially with Hollywood Brown being out for the season. This would be a completely different team with Hollywood Brown. It makes me sad, not just as a Chiefs fan. It probably makes you sad, one, because you predicted it, but two, because like the whole offseason, it's like, let's see what this offense looks like with Hollywood Brown and Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy. Well, you lost that. Credit to Juju for stepping up. You know, I know he's not the player he used to be, but he still makes plays for the Chiefs when they need him to. But Rashee Rice is a baller. Here's a question I want to throw at you real quick.
All right.
As an outsider, and I know we've kind of seen this before, what we thinking about Travis Kelce? Because he's been a ghost this season.
He's definitely the number 2, floating into the number 3 guy on the team.
Yeah.
As far as receivers go, you definitely, Rashee Rice, by the way, as a Rashee Rice fantasy owner, I'm so glad Hollywood Brown's not here.
Yeah,
but otherwise, I would like to see the offense with him. But I do think that Travis Kelce is, they're doing one of two things. Either he's regressing truly, or two, like they do a lot, like you had mentioned a couple episodes ago, they save him for the playoffs. But even tonight, there was a situation, I remember the announcer team talking about it, where Kelce would generally get the ball, and he was open, and Mahomes didn't go to him. That was concerning to me.
He got stopped in the backfield on one pass, too. He threw it out to Kelce, and first guy that got there tackled him. I am obviously not writing him off. I'm like you. He could totally pop in the playoffs, but he is showing his age even more than last year, no doubt.
I think they may be at the point now of saying, like, hey, Kelce may have like 3 to 4 great games left in him throughout this year.
Right.
And they may say, hey, well, let's reserve that for, we're probably getting the playoffs, so let's reserve him for the playoffs. I think you may see another level of Kelce be born in the playoffs, because you typically do.
That's what happened last year. Yeah.
When he comes alive. And that's what, teams get soft on coverage on him because he hasn't done anything all year, and now he runs all over you.
But with Rice playing like this, you can manage, though. There's
a chance that happens, but I am concerned, though. Like, it is more concerning than it has ever been with Travis Kelce and Mahomes and their relationship on the field, man. It's just not what it used to be.
I agree. I think you're starting to see the age for sure.